Welcome back to Cookies and Milk, episode 97. I'm your host, William.
Episode 97 Cookies and Milk. I'm your host, Ben.
We're having the mini EL fudges today.
And ironically, they are little people. This one's name is Elwood. And it says, from the hollow tree. And we're eating them. We're eating them up.
Not any...
Yum, yum, yum.
Such a weird energy to start the podcast with.
I like to eat an elf sometimes. A little elf that lives in a little tree, I'll eat him.
That got explicit.
Relating to that, today's topic is gore in video games.
Yeah.
So...
Dunk head first, so you know they die.
So, yeah, he wants to be dead when he's eaten. Did you want to start somewhere? This was your topic.
Okay, so how do you think...
You were chomping at the bit to talk about it. Just like I'm chomping on these elves.
This is so weird.
This is somebody's favorite episode. Mine.
So... How do you think gore contributes to video games?
So I think it contributes in the same way that it contributes to movies and media and anything, in that it adds an extra visceral layer to it.
Yeah.
You are going through these cookies so fast.
I always do this.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It really... So, you can do a lot in video games, and it won't maybe pluck at the heartstrings of your viewer.
Right.
But as soon as you start to get a little, like, too close, then you're really pushing it. Like, I'm talking, like... So, Dead Space.
Yeah.
Dead Space has got a lot in it. There's a lot of stuff that I'm like, man, it's fucked up that they did that. I guess I'm diving right into this.
Yeah.
But Dead Space 2, spoiler
The ending of Dead Space 2?
At the ending...
The final boss, right?
The eye stuff.
Yeah, that's like in the final boss.
Yeah, that's just before I'm gonna eat this.
Oh...
Elwood! Get back to me!
Oh my god.
More like Attack on Elwood, am I right?
What?
Because of Attack on Titan.
Insane. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da. No one's excited for season 3.
Yeah, it took too long.
Yeah?
There was a hot spot with season 2 before people were like, oh wait, Attack on Titan's not that great. They lost it. I'm still reading the manga on and off.
Yeah?
Because, I mean, like, I just want to know what fucking happens. But it's one of those mangas that instead of, like, ever answering a single question...
They just make more?
Here's 18 more questions. Here's backstory and political intrigue.
Is One Piece that?
Instead of answering one question, they make 18 more.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, is that they can have arcs where the questions don't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, spoilers for the current One Piece manga, the Riviere? The Riviere is happening, and there's like a bunch of secrets and stuff is happening, and like a bunch is revealed. And that's cool, and I want to know more about that. But like, now we're in Wano.
Now we're doing stuff with Luffy, and I only care about that.
Yeah, that's fine. That stuff can happen in the background because the current content is so good.
Yeah.
Like, there are a bunch of questions, there's a cool world, and that's very interesting and exciting. But I wouldn't care about that if I didn't care about the main characters in the world.
That's true.
And the way that they influence the world and the world influences them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like Attack on Titan, there was a brief time when I cared about the main characters, and I thought they were really great, and I wanted, like, good things to happen to them, and I wanted to discover the things that they wanted to discover. But the more I get into it, the less the story cares about that.
Ooh.
And the less I care about it, and there's so much extra bullshit. If you asked anybody why they got into Attack on Titan, not a single one of them would be like, the political intrigue. Nobody would say that because it's written by, like, a fascist.
Yes.
And anybody who is excited for that
I thought it was imperialist.
Yeah, it's an imperial, yeah. And anybody who is, can you imagine, like, being really excited? They're like, I love the fucking politics and shit in Attack on
But
Titan.
they're not fighting Titans.
And then the stuff comes out and it's like, oh yeah, he's like an imperialist and all his stuff influences his work. And then they have to be like, either, oh, I have to take a look at myself, or much more likely they...
Oh, I'm an imperialist.
yeah, they're like, I'm from Kyrgyzstan.
What?
That's the 4chan
right, of course.
whole country or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a great episode so far.
Yeah, so back to the eye scene.
Yeah, the eye scene in Dead Space 2
oh my god.
is great because...
It's very forgettable. I get sidetracked.
Sidetracked so easy. Despite everything that happens in Dead Space 1, 2, and 3, the one scene that's going to stick out for me more than anything is the eye scene. So, the imprints for the... how to make the... I don't even remember the fuck the name is.
Like the marker destroyer?
Marker, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, making a marker.
The imprint for that is located in the eye, in the brain?
In the, through the, optic nerve or whatever.
Yeah, but you...
because you've seen it.
Yeah.
I think.
You see it, and that's the big thing, is that once you see it, it imprints on you. And throughout the game, there's this guy who's, he's... At one point, he stabs one of your friends in the eye.
Yeah.
And he's been, ranting, and he's insane, and he knows about the marker, and he's like, cross my heart and hope to die. Stick a needle in your eye. And then, eventually, you have to sit down and extract all the information about the marker.
And you have to keep your eye still.
Yeah, and you're, controlling the laser as it's lining up with the eye.
Oh, yeah.
And you're making it slowly move closer. And, Isaac is freaking out. His eye is moving so fast. And if you miss...
You impale him.
Yeah, straight through the eye. And even if you succeed, it still goes right through the cornea?
The iris.
Iris.
Or the pupil.
Pupil. One of those things. It goes directly straight through the center of the eye.
Yeah.
And it's just like, God.
Yeah.
For a lot of all the fucked up stuff games have made me do in my life, that's gotta be up there.
Going straight for the eye.
Going straight for the eye.
Yeah, it's bad.
Because eye stuff is usually where people tend to stay away from.
There is that scene, I haven't played it through myself, but in Grand Theft Auto 5, the torture scene, they go for the balls.
Yeah.
You see it through pants, but you see them hit the balls.
Ugh.
Explicit. Hit him again. And then they hit him again, and then there's blood. And it's just like, oh, we gotta put a
big old explicit warning on this one.
Yeah.
I'll just put explicit in the YouTube.
And I'm just like, oh no, terrible.
I can't imagine doing that one. There's every time I see anything from the Grand Theft Auto 5 story, I'm like, why is this a video game?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hypocrisies I'll have, but I don't know what happens in Grand Theft Auto 4, but it was the story of an immigrant coming to America and realizing, oh, this isn't the land I thought it was.
It's just as fucked up.
I'm forced to do all this fucked up stuff again. And then Grand Theft Auto 5 is bad people do bad things. Here it is, and it's just
yeah.
There's the one quest where
and this generation is the worst.
Yeah, jokes about that. Thanks, Grand Theft Auto. There's the one quest where you blow up the cell phone dude.
Yeah, on stage.
Yeah, you just blow up his head, and it's just Jesus Christ, what is this? I'm not gonna be the kind of person who's are games too violent? Are they ruining our generation? But then I see people get excited for Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'm like, fuck, that's bad.
Yeah.
Maybe that is too much.
I mean, I think sometimes you just come back to Trevor in the world map, and he's killing someone.
Doing some fucked up stuff.
Yeah, he's just killing someone.
Does he die at the end of it?
You can kill him.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
Play the game just for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's I couldn't kill him at the end. It's what are you talking about? Or no, someone was I kept him alive just for the trophy in my first playthrough, but I kill him every time after that. I'm like, that's good.
There's fucking Cap.
He's we gotta pet him.
That's the title of this episode.
We gotta pet him. Explicit. Oh no.
This is my favorite episode. Yeah. recording?
Oh God. 10 minutes exactly.
Great. That's all the episode there. So I'm trying to think of other games that have had like gore in them that really left an impact on me.
Do you think? Okay, so do you think Metal Gear Rising is gory?
No.
Do you think the very end is gory, where he rips his heart out and crushes it?
It's Metal Gear's. What's the word I'm looking for?
Intense?
No, it's like the Silicon Valley or not. What's it called when it's like not quite human?
Oh.
Or
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley, that's the one.
You think it's like that?
Yeah, it's almost at that point. There's like, so you know when things almost are human?
Yeah.
So Uncanny Valley is when it's like past human, or it's right in the middle of human and human.
Yes.
So, but there's like a brief point where you can get up to that, where it's like, so when Raiden in Metal Gear Rising rips out a dude's spine and crushes it,
that's different.
the part that does get me in Metal Gear Rising is the part where they pull out all the brains.
Yeah.
That's the part that I was like, oh. Oh.
That's fair. And they all look at Raiden.
Oh, yeah, they look. They have the eyes, too.
Yeah.
That's the part that gets me more than anything. Like, cutting out dude's spines, ripping out Armstrong's heart, that's fine. That's video game stuff. It's not human enough for me to...
The child brains is.
Child brains in the eyes, that is human.
Yeah.
That's all that is. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, that's what they're doing here.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. No.
No, doesn't.
It's... There's no blood.
It's all just like, oh, all of a sudden it's broken.
Well, yeah, there's no... you'll see, like, red markers, kind of like slash when, like, it hits, but that's just, like, an after effect. And sometimes that's not even there because you're hitting, like, rock. But, yeah...
And also, they are monsters. They're monster enough to...
They're monstrous enough. And even the ape... And the ape doesn't get too broken up either.
Yeah.
Like, they won't lose their tail. Their fur will get all mucked up, and they're, like... They have, like, a hair spike, and that'll get all flailed out. But... No, definitely not. The worst that it is you'll look at the tail and you'll see that the innards are just like it's just like muscle or whatever.
Yeah, muscle's always like a... That's the usual stopping point when you see that you're like, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But anything past that, you're like, that's too much.
Yeah, but what you're mainly seeing is just the severed tail. You're not usually looking in there.
You have to do some work to focus on that. God damn.
Put food in his bowl.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
He keeps knocking down this amiibo.
So, if we're going to talk about Gore, we got to talk about one of my favorite games of all time again. It's madworld.
Okay.
A couple of my favorite games have dealt with gore in very unique ways.
Yeah.
madworld is so heavily stylized, and so... it's all just like the way it's stylized, to the point where you don't even really think about it. The blood that you do see, the gore that you do see, is these sharp splashes of red in an all black and white world.
You'll just feed guys to a grinder, though.
Yeah.
And then the grinder grows red.
Yeah, and then it's splatters of red everywhere. And it's simplified to the point where you're not thinking about it. It's just these splashes.
It's just a color.
Yeah, it's just splashes of red. It's the only color in the world. And it's great. It's thematic. And it feels good. It all feels good.
Whoa.
I know. But it's so... Because it doesn't linger on anything, there are, like, the brief shots of the people, like, getting sucked into these grinders or whatever, and they're just like, and it's...
Right.
It's briefly fucked, but the game gets you right back to the action.
trying to think what I was just going to say.
Well, while you're thinking, I think that a large part of it is how long a game lingers on it.
Yeah.
So Hotline Miami. It was the next game I was going to talk about. Because two of my favorite games is Hotline Miami 2 and Madworld are easily in my top... Maybe my top 10 video games of all time.
Wow. Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about God of War.
Oh, yeah.
So, God of War...
The new one?
Both. I'll say both. I think how comparing Kratos' brutality in God of War 4 with the other games, I don't think he lingers on a kill.
Yeah.
So
ever?
No. Well, I think it's hard to say, but in God of War 1, 2, 3, you grab a small enemy, Kratos stabs him a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
In God of War 4, you have to get that enemy stunned, you grab them, Kratos finishes them efficiently. Like, I'll just say this. There's this there are these, like, normal humanoid Draugr. Kratos will punch it, pick it up, he'll grab it, throw it to the ground, and stomp its head in. Or sometimes he will simply grab them and then throw them at another enemy. And in the bigger takedowns, he's just like, axe through the jaw, they're still moving, axe through the head. I will take their column from them and smash their head with it. And they're still fighting him as it happens.
Yeah.
It's just how
a fight goes.
Yeah. With like a wolf, he'll just punch it and then throw it. All of these would probably be a lot more bloodier if it was God of War 1, 2, 3 Kratos.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people were anticipating that or like how that plays into Kratos' character, but I definitely think it shows.
Yeah, it
where
shows
he is.
Like a game progression. Also, it's just he is a different guy in a different world.
Sometimes he rips one apart. Oh, that's what he does with Draugr.
He just sometimes rips them.
He grabs them. I think he always does this. He grabs them and then just like where he's like embedded in axe, and then he just rips them apart, and that creates an explosion.
Oh,
yeah,
that's something. I'm trying to think. So, if we're gonna talk about this, then we have to talk about God of War 3's famous fight.
Oh, with Poseidon.
Not Poseidon.
But Poseidon as well.
I'm trying to think of what even happens in Poseidon's fight.
I'm going to bring up Poseidon.
Go ahead.
It's the beginning of the game.
Yes.
You bring Poseidon down.
I guess we have to talk about all of God of War 3. There's no way to...
God of War 3 is a good way to...
It's also the one that I'm just most familiar with.
You know what? Okay, God of War 3 and God of War 4 are very good parallels.
Also, God of War 1 opens with you impaling a Hydra. Like, the whole face.
Yeah.
Ship through the freaking face. That's screw attacks, like...
Yeah.
Something. Is that number 1? Or number 2, maybe?
It's number 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's fine. It's a callback.
God. And then you hear, like, a young stuttering Craig... and he still sounds the same.
The freaking face.
He sounds the same now.
Yeah.
But so you get Poseidon down, you throw him into a rock.
Yes.
And then you just start slamming his face.
Yeah.
And then you're looking through Poseidon's eyes.
Oh yeah.
And then he just punches. He punches Poseidon, and you're seeing this from Poseidon's eyes. So he's punching you, and then he grabs your face, and then you see his thumb
gouges your
eyes out, and then so Poseidon at this point is crawling.
Oh yeah.
To the cliff face so he can fall in the water and heal, but Kratos just keeps him from doing that.
Yeah, he just pulls him back,
and then he throws his dead corpse into it, and then causes a flooding of the world.
Oh yeah, that does happen.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, God of War 3.
That's the start of God of War 3. Hades. Hades starts with something fun. So, I'm just going to...
He does the soul stuff, right?
He does the soul stuff.
Are we going to talk about Hermes first?
Well, Hermes happens after Hades.
Does it happen after?
Yeah, you go straight to Hades after Poseidon.
Oh, yeah, you do.
You kill Zeus's two brothers at the start of the game, and then you just work your way up to Zeus. Yeah. It's funny that other gods think they could have beaten you.
You beat
these two. That's Hades' power. Insane.
You beat those two, and then Hermes shows up, and he's like, "Let's rumble."
Yeah. Well, he's a cow. He runs so fast. But Hades tries to steal your soul. He fails.
That's not gonna work.
You've had his soul so many times, Hades, but you failed all the time. But then it becomes like a tug of war match.
Yeah.
Where you're fighting over the River Styx, and you pull him in.
Yeah.
And he comes back up, helmet gone, and his face is like half destroyed. And he just starts like, it's a completely different fight. There's no elegance now, or there's no like pattern. There's no brutality.
Yeah.
It's just, or there's no cruelty. It's just raw brutality.
Yeah.
And you eventually steal his.
You take his soul right back out.
You take his soul, and you just take it, and then he's just laying there in front of you. Yeah. And you can talk about Hermes if you want.
So, I mean, Hermes is just like the brave thing. You cut his legs off. Like, he's been running from you this whole time, and he just eventually just cut his legs off.
And it's... And
then you wear shoes.
You miss the build-up.
I mean, yeah.
You chase him for a while, and then you throw yourself on a boulder at him.
Oh, yeah.
And then that wounds him, and then the fight starts as he's limping away from you.
Yeah.
And then the fight starts, and you can actually
He taunts you also.
He taunts you like the whole time. Yeah.
And then eventually, to the point where it almost does feel good when you finally just...
Yeah.
Shut up!
Yeah.
But I was going to talk about, actually, Kronos.
You're appealing... Oh! Kronos, you're right!
Yeah, that's the first place my mind goes.
You're right. I watched that fight like a lot when I had beaten God of War 4. Fuck. Like first Helios, you rip his head off.
Oh yeah, you
walk up to a Helios with his legs shattered already, and you rip his head off.
You just need this.
We can also talk about Gaia.
I forgot what happens to Gaia.
Gaia's a short one, so I'll just do that one because Kronos is big. More ways than one. So Gaia at the start, you and her are about to reach Mount Olympus, or the top of it, and then Zeus strikes her with a lightning bolt, and one of her arms is wounded, so she's barely holding on, and like...
She asks you for help.
Yeah, but Kratos is about to fall off, and he's asking her for help. No.
Oh, yeah.
No. You ask her for help, and she's like, I can't, I need
to keep moving.
And
then later...
She's still hanging there trying to recover, and you cut her hand the rest of the way off, and then she dies, quote unquote, and then she comes back in the final battle, and you break her heart.
You
literally break her heart while fighting Zeus.
I forgot how terrible that fight was.
Yes, there's so much to that fight.
Yeah, you fight Zeus inside of her. Shit, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, you can talk about Kronos.
So
since you brought it up.
Kronos, you meet Kronos.
Also Hephaestus.
Oh,
right after Kronos.
I don't want to talk about Hephaestus.
Hephaestus made me sad.
That's like a terrible... You have sex with his wife.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, you have sex with Aphrodite. Also, we can talk about, Athena?
Yeah, what about her?
That's the old woman?
No, that's Hera.
Hera. You just fucking kill her.
Kill her, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a fucked up thing to happen.
Yeah, but Kronos. Yeah, off topic.
We're building up to this one. Kronos, you meet him in God of War 1. He has the entire fucking thing on his back, and he's just like literally a giant. Yeah, there's a whole dungeon that's like a fraction of his back.
It's like more than half the game.
Yeah.
Or at least half the game.
Yeah, almost like exactly half the game. And you, in God of War 3, you fight him.
And you find out that you put him in Tartarus because you stole Pandora's box from him.
Which is not fair. That's not fair to him.
That's not fair to him.
And what also
it's not his fault.
What also isn't fair to him is how the fight goes. Because you are small. He is very big. You are like way smaller than his finger. That's important. That's gonna come up again later. So there's one of the coolest. Get the fuck out of here, buddy. There's one of the coolest. Yeah, put the chair away. That's the title of this episode. Put the chair away.
We have to pet him. Is smaller than his finger. That's important.
Yeah, you're going to. He's gonna jump anyways. Well, there's one of the greatest QuickTime events because he crushes you between his fingers, and then you mash the button and you just straight lift his fingers up, which is great.
And then you slice his fingers.
Oh, you cut the shit out of his fingers, and then it culminates in you ripping his fingernails off.
Yeah,
which is like,
oof. You hook the blades in and then pull it off. Ugh.
So we talked about lingering in God of War. We talked about lingering previously on lingering on the gore is what makes the gore matter.
Yeah,
if you're fast about the gore, then it doesn't matter. Like the little God of War executions and stuff, the circles and grabs and the stabs, and it's like that's kind of fucked. But who cares?
Yeah.
But with Poseidon and that kind of stuff, they really make it linger.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just like, good God, that's fucked up. And then, like, all of these fights, several of these terrible things happen in the middle of the fights, and then you keep doing it.
I just remember a really good thing from God of War 4. And how it lingers on the blood. But keep going with Kronos.
Don't you go... He eats you, right? At a certain
point? So you eventually start, like, breaking, like, the thing on his belly.
Yeah.
And then he grabs you and eats you, and he's like, ha ha ha, I win.
Over.
And then you cut his stomach open with the sword of the gods, and he's, like, holding his intestines in.
Like, he's literally there holding
And you already have the stone you need.
Yeah, you did
But then you turn... Like, he's like, you have your stone, leave me be. But then you grab the thing that was in his stomach, turn it around through his chin, and he's like holding it there, and he's like, his head is tilted back, and you stab the sword,
because then you get on top of his head.
On his forehead, and you stab it right through the brow, and you kill him like that, and you see his body like stumble and fall, and when you get back into the Hephaestus room, Kronos is just there.
Oh yeah,
you see his head there, and then you impale Hephaestus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he does try to kill you.
He tries to kill you because you're trying to you
try to
kill his daughter.
Yes.
But so I'll just say, God of War 4.
Yeah.
You have to go get someone's heart, right? Takes you to a dangerous realm, and then you kill the beast. It's like a big troll, and it's just like, okay, you don't execute him and grab the heart. Kratos just sits, like kneels on top of on the big thing's chest, and then like just starts cutting, and it's just like he just looks tired.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not like aggressively cutting into him. It's just like slowly.
He just has to do that.
Yeah.
He has to get the heart.
Oh, that's a very good scene to show where Kratos is and I'm at that mindset.
Yeah, so I guess it does seem...
So the Kronos scene to that scene.
Yeah. I guess it we sound pretty hypocritical now.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning we were like, our game's too violent? Maybe. Anyways, here's all the shit that happens in God of War 3.
Yeah.
And man, I forgot how much they amped it the fuck up. God of War 3 is so much there.
There's a lot. Remember when you just bash Hercules' skull in?
Yeah, you take his weapons, you beat him to death?
Yeah.
Remember when you take... I don't know if this was God of War 3. I feel like this happens a lot. Where you take a woman and you Poseidon's wife?
Poseidon's princess.
And you use her to complete a puzzle?
Yeah.
And then she gets, like...
Impaled
and, like, caught in the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I need help. Anyone but you.
Anyone but... Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, because of course.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody in Olympus knows, if Kratos is the one helping you, kill yourself now.
Yeah.
Find some easy way to do it. Because it's only going to get worse for you.
I'll say the boss takedowns in God of War, there's not usually like quick time events.
Yeah.
And they're quick. Except for, I mean, like, Some of them can take a while, but that's just like the fight gets really drawn out, but that's what they wanted to happen. Fucking play God of War 4, dude.
Yeah, we've had so many conversations. It's surreal that I haven't played it at this point.
I want to talk to you about this, especially on the podcast, and hear your thoughts. But you haven't played it.
I'm pushing through Shadow War.
Oh my god.
Jesus, what is this?
It's insane. So shameful.
He's so lonely. Come here, get on my lap. He loves it. He loves a lap. He hates a lap so much.
He hates a lap. Only our dad's lap is what he likes.
That's absurd.
So yeah, I'd say the Hecatoncheires in God of War Ascension?
Ascension?
Yeah.
Those are the Fate Sisters?
The Hecatoncheires is the huge dude. The huge dude that's a prison.
That's where the game takes place?
Where the game starts.
Yeah.
You start in the prison, and there's the giant guy with his arms everywhere.
Yeah.
And then one of the hands becomes a thing, a monster.
Huh.
And then they infect his mouth.
Oh.
And then it's just spider legs gripping the platform you're on, while there's also a mouth there as well. And he looks so scared.
Jesus.
Because he's still alive after all these years.
Oh. I was thinking about how... Like, I'm trying to remember the end of that fight specifically, and I think it ends with you just, like, straight up impaling... It's a huge one, right? It's like a huge Fate Lady.
Well, she's not in the fight.
She's just there in the background?
Oh, yeah.
And you just stab her with a bunch of things.
Does she die?
I guarantee you she dies.
I thought... Does she die in the beginning?
The game is paced weirdly.
Yes.
That's my biggest complaint with Ascension is all the time stuff is a lot.
Oh yeah. God, I haven't played that game in forever.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. All things considered, I did like it.
Yeah.
But
it added backstory, I suppose.
Yeah, I did hate the time puzzles. Like,
oh.
I got so bored every single time I walked into an area and it was like, whoa, look at this broken bridge or whatever. And I'm like, fuck off.
The water wheel.
Yeah. Oh, good God. Some of those puzzles.
Yeah, I guess God of War 1, 2, and 3 are pretty bad at that. They pace out the gore terribly. Like,
yeah, so that's sort of the thing with God of War as a whole is that
it's so weird for Kratos' character.
That
he'd be like, yeah, I'll move this box and figure out a puzzle.
Yeah, it's every single part of it is so weird for Kratos' character. Like, he starts God of War 1 like, I just want to die. And then they're like, alright, so...
You're not allowed to die.
Go save this... Go... She's relaxed, she's flipping around.
Yeah.
Go kill this Hydra. Or Serpent, or Kraken, whatever.
Well, that was just a thing that happened on the way there.
And he does... And then there's the dude, and he needs the pendant or whatever.
Yes, and then he picks up the dude and then throws him.
But why? At the beginning, why?
I don't... Well, I think... Okay. There's no way to actually confirm this or anything, but, like, what if Kratos didn't like him because he let all this happen?
Yeah, so... That's
he was a cowardly captain who sailed into Hydra-infested waters.
Like, his whole crew is dead, and he's just like, please save me. And
yeah.
I mean, I guess. So there's definitely that aspect of it, and I like that more than Kratos is just like a dude who kills people. But then you get to the part where he's like in hell,
and then it happens again.
It's just like it's a joke at that point.
Well, yeah.
But
who was that gravedigger? You remember the gravedigger?
Not off the top of my head.
Really? You come back up through his grave at the end of when you die in God of War 1.
And he says something? He does a whole thing?
No, he was digging the grave when you first, like, around the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
He's digging the grave, and he says something, but then he's gone when when you come back out of the grave.
Makes sense.
And I think he was only in God of War 1 and Ghost of Sparta.
What a repertoire.
Yeah. He buries Deimos.
Of course he does.
Like, he's just digging the grave and he's like, Kratos, I see you're holding your dead brother. Want to throw him in here?
I got a grave already.
You dug all the way to Hades.
That's impressive.
Are you looking it up?
God of War Gravedigger.
It's just WWE.
Gravedigger God of War Wiki. Athena isn't the only god keeping watch on you, Spartan. The Gravedigger to Kratos about his true identity.
What?
The Gravedigger was a mysterious man who was busy digging graves outside of the Temple of Oracle in Athens during its siege. He claimed to be Kratos' grave, but soon became the helping hand when Kratos attempted to escape the underworld. The Gravedigger, as it turns out, is actually the mortal guise of Zeus, the king of the gods.
Whoa! He was Zeus?
The Gravedigger first appeared digging the grave later on when Kratos was killed by Ares at Pandora's temple and was journeying through the underworld. A stone with a rope tied to it fell from a hole. Kratos climbed the rope, then returned to Athens at the Oracle's temple where he was met by the Gravedigger. Using the grave he was digging as it proved to be the perfect portal for Kratos to use whilst escaping the underworld. The digger commented on Kratos he had just finished digging the hole as a Spartan asked him who he was, which the digger was about to answer until they heard an explosion. Source of great controversy for fans who speculated he was either Zeus or Hermes in disguise. Probably not Hermes, right?
Yeah, not much.
As such similarities were noted between his voice and Zeus's, particularly when he gave Zeus's fury to Kratos. It's also possible that Zeus and the other Ghost of Sparta, exactly right, makes his way through the city of Heracleion. There the Gravedigger addresses the actions that Kratos has done and advises him to turn back now and give up his quest. Turn to find Deimos, Kratos ignores the advice and continues on. After his victory over Thanatos, which cost Deimos his life, Kratos carries the dead body of his brother to the Path of Solitude to the peak of the Suicide Bluffs. There he once again finds the Gravedigger waiting for him. The Gravedigger shows Kratos a freshly dug grave, in which Kratos planted Deimos to be buried. Dead brother he is now free from his torment as he goes and stands at the edge of the bluffs where he briefly ponders suicide, before relenting and asking of no one in particular, by the gods, what have I become? The Gravedigger sardonically replies, Death, the destroyer of worlds, before disappearing.
That's weird. That's a weird thing that it was Zeus.
He also buries Callisto. The Gravedigger buries Callisto, who is...
Kratos' mom.
Kratos' mom.
Huh.
And he says, only one remains.
Ooh. Zeus. So here's a question. Do you think Zeus was evil?
Yes. A lot of bad things happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because of him. How many bad things have to happen under your rule before you're officially evil?
I think Zeus hit that mark.
Zeus hit the mark 100%. Zeus hit that mark is also a good name for the episode.
I think that's the actual... Zeus hit that mark explicit.
Yeah, Zeus hit that mark explicit.
That's just Greek mythology.
What time are we at?
I think we're at a pretty decent time. 40 minutes. I think it's a good place to stop.
Yeah, I'll call it there.
Well, that has been episode 97 of Cookies and Milk. I've been your host, William.
I've been your host, Ben.
The EL fudges were good. They're pretty short. Unlike this episode. Bye, guys.
My favorite episode.